Well, hello there, motherfuckers. And I'm here with your Royal Rumble review. Yeah, it's time to review this show. So, a lot of people are shitting on this show. They're saying it's one of the worst shows that they've ever seen. Let me just say something right now. You guys are a bunch of fucking retards. Holy fucking shit. People are calling this the worst show that they ever seen because Bryan wasn't in the Royal Rumble. It's like they turn their brains off. They don't realize that this was actually a very good show. And look who this is coming from. I said that like all last year, all the shows were fucking shit. I told the truth about those shows. And this is coming from a guy who shits on all the WWE pay-per-views. You know, it's not to be funny or anything. It's my honest opinion, you know, because I give valid reasons why. But I am here standing before you today to tell you that Royal Rumble 2014 was a quality event. And I'm going to tell you why. You know, we all knew that Bryan wasn't going to be in the Rumble. I told you it was going to happen. You know, and still people are like, no, no, no. And then when Bryan isn't in it, people are like, you know, it's like, where are your brains? Like, how long have you been watching wrestling for? Some people are the same age as me, even older, and they still don't get it. They still don't understand what's going on in this fucking company. They don't understand how wrestling works. It's not that hard to figure out. You know, it's not that hard to figure out how Vince McMahon works. It's not hard to figure out how this company goes. It's been like this for a very long time. You have to expect a certain level of disappointment if you were going to watch this product. Now, you have every right to shit on things that you don't like. Hell, I do it all the time. But when you get a quality event like this, how fucking dare you fucking shit on it? Now WWE is going to hear this reaction. Oh, what? You didn't like this show even though it had good wrestling on it? Oh, we're going to give you some shitty shows now. Thanks a lot, you stupid motherfuckers. Alright, let's start off with the pre-show. Now, normally I don't review the pre-show, but this one's worth mentioning. You know, it's not officially part of the show, but the New Age Outlaws defeated Cody Rhodes and Goldust. And, you know, you might think that I might be unhappy about this. No, but I like it. I like Cody Rhodes and Goldust. I'm always singing their praises in my reviews. But now they're going to go on to feud at Mania. Wrestle at Mania. They're going to feud now probably from this point on. And it makes me pretty happy that we're going to finally be able to see this match. It's about fucking time. You know, they should have did this at last year's Mania. You know, when they had the interaction in the Rumble. But now that they've been tag champs and they've been on TV for a long period of time, you know, together, it's going to actually be better. So I guess it's good that they waited. But now the New Age Outlaws are tag champs, and this is good. You know, when they said Billy Gunn hasn't, you know, it doesn't look like he aged, they really mean it. I mean, the guy is still fit. The guy still looks pretty young. You know, both of them look very good for their ages. And so, you know, why not? Why not one more run as tag champs? You know, or just a run as a team in general. God knows they need tag teams. And this is definitely a valid tag team. You know, definitely acceptable. More than acceptable. Awesome to have them as tag team champs again. You know, this was not a great match, but pretty good. I'll give it 2.5 stars, you know. This match should have rightfully been on the show. I don't understand why they decided to put it as a pre-show match, but, you know, decent match and a very good outcome. Now, for the official event, Bryan and Bray Wyatt. What a fucking amazing match this was. Holy fucking shit. Was I happy as all hell to see this one. Now, this is what I'm talking about. People saying that this show sucked. What the fuck were you watching? This was such a great match. Even the crowd was chanting this was awesome. And, you know, I know that I criticize them all the time for saying that in too many matches that are just subpar. But this one deserved it. This was just such a well put together match. Just awesome and very memorable. You had, you know, the finish with Daniel Bryan diving through the ropes. You got, and then you have Bray Wyatt just taking him and Sister Abigail-ing his fucking face right into the barricade. You just had so many moments in this match, and you know they were just pulling off different moves throughout. Just a really well wrestled match. It was like two experts like showing their craft, and this really cements Bray Wyatt as one of their top guys now. Wrestling wise, really, you see what all the hype is about. You would think, if judging by the internet, it's a bunch of raving lunatics just supporting, a guy with a big beard. But no, Bray Wyatt's actually got some real talent. And Daniel Bryan was with the usual good stuff. And, this was like, even though you didn't want to see Daniel Bryan lose, it was almost like, even me, I didn't care. It was such a great match. It's like both guys fucking won. See, that's what I like, when the match is that good that, you just don't care who wins or loses. You're just happy you saw the match. What a quality match this was. Definitely one. It's probably going to be the match of the year. I don't even know if they could even get close to this again. We only get like 4 or 5 good matches a year nowadays that they even come close to the 4-star mark. And this was a 4.5-star match from where I stand. Very good match. High intensity. Even during the slower parts of this match, it was very energetic. In the next match, it had Brock Lesnar defeating the Big Show in like 2 minutes. Let me explain. Now, normally, if I have to rate this match, I would have to give it a dud because it was ridiculously short. But I will explain why this was probably a passable match, and I don't even know if it's, really that fair to rate it. The Big Show was injured, got injured at a house show, so they had to figure out a way around this. The guy's hand was almost broken, or it's, fractured or something. I don't fucking know. But Big Show, gets assaulted with a chair prior to the match from Brock. He's hitting him with the chair like 10 times. Then, Big Show gives him a punch. Brock gets back up and he F5s the Big Show, and it's over. And, I was like thinking that was pretty fucking lousy. But then after the match, he keeps hitting him with chair shots. And at the end, Big Show's back had a whole bunch of welts all over it. So that was pretty fucking brutal. Big Show just got fucking destroyed. And I think this is a good way to write off the Big Show for a while. Just get his fucking fat ass out of here for a while. So, a good way to go. But the thing is, here, I thought that, they were so hell-bent on putting the Big Show on this pay-per-view. Why not swap him out for somebody else? If he's injured, just let Brock wrestle somebody else. They missed out on the opportunity here to have a good quality match. So I don't understand, why they had to have the Big Show in there and have this little short match. I mean, it was very brutal afterwards. I appreciated that, some real genuine brutality on a PG fucking show. But, it could have done a little bit better here. Not bad, but definitely not good. Then it was the WWE Championship match. Oh yeah, John Cena and Randy Orton, the two fucking retards, king of retardia. Both of them, I guess, Prince Retard and King Retard. Call them what you will. But, for weeks I've been saying this was a stupid idea. Having Orton and Cena in match number 835. You know, how many fucking times have we seen this? The crowd was against it. They were chanting Daniel Bryan throughout. And that was much appreciated. Daniel Bryan did deserve to have a title match on this show, if not be in the Rumble match. But I gotta say, I like this match. It was pretty fucking good. I was very fucking surprised by this. Very well put together match here, you know, especially the spot where they both did each other's finishers. You know, Cena doing the RKO, Orton doing the FU. Very enjoyable stuff here. And then at the end, you had the Wyatts with a distraction, which led to Orton winning off of another RKO. Really, I was not bored in this match. For two guys that I really hate, they really put together a solid match here. I'm going to have to give this one 3 1/4 stars, you know. For all the people saying that this was junk, you're junk. So what do you think about that? You know, that's a good comeback. But yeah, a pretty good match here, I have to say. Very good. Pretty good. You know, but it should be the last match. And, you know, how funny is it that this match was better than their TLC match? You know, where they had more of an opportunity to have, you know, an excellent match with all that equipment in there. But, you know, this was pretty fucking good. You know, for a normal, basic match, I was heavily entertained. Then you had the Royal Rumble match, and Daniel Bryan wasn't in it. Big fucking surprise. Big fucking surprise. Batista ends up winning. Whoa. Wow. I'm so surprised. You know, where did I hear this prediction before? A certain individual that, you know, constantly shits on the product and is a big fan of Daniel Bryan. Can't quite remember his name. It was me, motherfuckers. It was me. It was me. It was me all along. I told you Batista was going to win. Am I a fan of him winning the Rumble? No. But no, you knew that I wanted Daniel Bryan to win. But you knew he wasn't going to be in it. But people were like, no. You know, but he wasn't in it. And Rey Mysterio comes out at number 30. And this was predictable. Because at this point in the match, everybody had cut promos. You know, not everybody, but some guys had cut promos prior to the match. And one of them was Rey Mysterio. So when Rey Mysterio wasn't in there and there was one more spot open, of course it was going to be Rey Mysterio. For those people expecting Daniel Bryan, what a bunch of fucking retards. I mean, I understand that people were booing because just Daniel Bryan wasn't in it and they just wanted to have some type of swerve. But it was unrealistic to think that there was going to be a swerve of that nature. They're not just going to have Rey Mysterio unless, you know, he got attacked in the back. You know, actually they could have did something like that for one of the wrestlers to, you know, receive it like an out. You know, oh, you know, he got attacked backstage or something. And, you know, now Daniel Bryan has to take the spot. But, you know, even that would look pretty shitty because it's like, oh, they have to throw Daniel Bryan in there. But, you know, whatever. It would have still been Daniel Bryan in there. And then you had, like, Kevin Nash in there. He barely did anything. But, you know, it was nice to see Nash coming back and do the Legends, like, entry. You know, they have to at least get one legend in there. So, you know, good to see Nash, I guess. Then they had a fucking NXT fucking moron in there, Alexander, whatever his name was. This guy comes in just like Bo Dallas last year, and nobody gives a fucking shit. Did a couple of like decent, like high impact moves, but really, who the fuck gives a shit? Kofi Kingston, you know, does a stunt on the outside. He's on the barricade and he jumps to the ring apron. You know, pretty good. Better than the pogo stick shit, you know, better than the handstand. This was actually pretty impressive, him jumping from that distance. So I gotta say, don't like Kofi Kingston, but I like the stunt. You know, what else happened in this match? You had Roman Reigns. You know, he makes it to the end with Batista, but then gets thrown out. Roman Reigns eliminated, I believe it was 12 or 13 guys. He broke the record for most eliminations in a single Royal Rumble match. This is a good way to go about things if they want to push him, you know, over the top. Do I think he deserves to get such a major push? Not really. I think that belongs to either Seth Rollins or Dean Ambrose, but Seth Rollins lasted a long time, and so did CM Punk. And CM Punk's elimination was fucking bullshit. You had Kane just coming. First of all, they put Corporate Kane in here, which is just a fucking insult. Get that big fucking red retard out of the ring already. He's supposed to be backstage. He's Corporate Kane now. He's not supposed to be a wrestler. You know, and this was the thing. I was hoping that they were going to make like Kane wasn't officially in the Royal Rumble, like he snuck his way in there. And I thought maybe then Daniel Bryan might come out at the end. But that didn't happen. You know, but Kane eliminates Punk, and, you know, it just, why are they having this feud? CM Punk, like, just, they're having him, like, go backwards, backpedaling with CM Punk. You know, they're just feuding with an authority figure like Kane. Now, how many times are they going to do this? Punk versus the authority figures. It's never going to be like Stone Cold and Vince McMahon. I know that's what they're going for with this shit. They tried to do this with Punk and Laurinaitis, Cena and Laurinaitis. They're never going to be able to reignite that fire that feud had. You know, that was McMahon. You know, McMahon with the good acting and the good promos, and Austin with the awesomeness. They're never going to get that shit back, so stop trying. And they're definitely not going to get that out of Kane and Punk. Kane's not good at promos. Kane's not good at wrestling anymore. So they got to stop this shit already with Punk versus the authority figures. Enough already with this fucking bullshit. Sick to death of it. But yeah, Batista ends up winning. Some people wanted to see at least Roman Reigns win, but, you know, I don't want to see that. So Batista wins. And, you know, this is better in my opinion than Roman Reigns winning. I don't think that he deserves it. But yeah, Batista wins, and there's a chorus of boos directed right at Batista. And rightfully so, you know, it should have been Daniel Bryan, but I told you. I told you that he was going to win. But pretty enjoyable Rumble. I'll give it 3.5 stars. You know, there was some good action in it. Kept my attention going. So yeah, good Rumble. Definitely not the best, not the most memorable, but a solid Rumble. A solid Rumble, guys. So overall, pretty good show. I have to say, I was highly entertained with this one. I'm going to give it, fuck. I'm going to have to give it an 8 out of 10. It was really, 7.5, 8 out of 10. Can't really knock it. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Fuck you guys. It was a very good show. Big show, and Brock didn't need to be there, but you had the, you know, the cool shit with the beatdowns. I'll excuse it. Just one match out of, you know, a bunch of other things. And, you know, if you want to even throw in the Outlaws as a part of that rating, go right ahead. Whatever. I don't give a shit. But, yeah, for people shitting on this show, get a fucking life. Get a fucking life, yo. That's right. Because this was a pretty good show with some good wrestling. And you sound like retards saying this is the worst show ever. I am probably the king of the Daniel Bryan fans. And, you know, even I have to say, I will excuse this because I enjoyed the rest of the show. Just because one thing didn't go your way, you're gonna shit over the whole fucking show? What is this? Yes, we are living in probably the shittiest period in wrestling history. But what is it that makes wrestling fans such fucking crybabies nowadays? You know, when we get something good, people refuse it. At this point, if you're gonna watch this product, you know, you should be like me. You know, you're just watching it because you're a fan. So once something good comes along, you know, why don't you want to like it? It's like you have some type of problem, you know, a big mental problem where you can't accept good wrestling. So even when they give you something like Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt, this big epic match with, you know, great psychology and awesome wrestling being displayed, you're like, no, Daniel Bryan wasn't in the Rumble, even though Daniel Bryan had a great match, and it was obviously, you know, probably one of the best matches we've seen in quite some time. You're still gonna fucking shit on it. You're gonna, you know, dismiss it as a sucky match. I mean, look, you're shitting on the match that was that had your guy in it. It had Daniel Bryan in it. And even though he didn't win, he still looked like $1,000,000. And there you are, complaining like a fucking retard. Even though Daniel Bryan had a great match, you're still shitting on the show where Daniel Bryan had a great match. Fuck you guys. You're very, very fucking retarded. To the people that are, you know, passing this around saying, oh, this show is bad, don't watch it, it was a waste of time. You're a fucking waste of time. You are a waste of time. Because this show was worth every minute watching. It was very good. And I have to give it to WWE. After a string of shit fucking pay-per-views, even TLC, which some people praised, I didn't like it. I said it was just passable. This one though, the Royal Rumble, was a good fucking show, and I totally recommend you watch it, especially if you're one of those people that are down on the WWE like I am. You watch this and it restores a little bit of hope. Even if not that, just a good show, and doesn't deserve the hate it's getting. But you have to understand, this is the YWC. It's full of fucking retards that are gonna shit on good shit. So, yeah. Good show. Ignore the haters. Daniel Bryan should have been in the Royal Rumble. He wasn't. But then again, I predicted it, and it was pretty fucking obvious. And if you can't see the obvious at this point, then get a fucking brain. Get a motherfucking brain already. You know, there was no surprise here with Batista winning. Predictable. You know, if you want to knock the show for that, I'm knocking it too. Batista winning is predictable. I told you it was going to be Orton and Batista at WrestleMania, but people, you know, cried and said that, no, I'm lying, or whatever. Alright, so there you go. Good show. No retards. Alright.